working hard out there. You know, I run a high intensity practices. You don't get a lot of breaks out there. You know, we do short little water breaks. We get out after it. My practices are usually run down to the minute, and you know, it was an adjustment for them right off the bat, but I think now they're accustomed to it and they enjoy it. At least they've told me they enjoy it. They like how fast-paced it is, how it's just constantly we're in motion. They're always having that intensity when we're out here. There were certain things that I wanted to stress, which really had to do with being low to the ground, you know, focusing on using your legs and working on balance and stuff like that, which I was able to focus on right away and how we were going to train. But then I really wanted to just watch how they played and what each player's tendencies were. That was really what the fall was about, was really just becoming extremely disciplined with where do we want to hit the ball. You know, we're not always going to be looking to hit a winner out there. We got to be able to set things up, and we got to focus on how can I get to my strength, how can I hurt my opponent, you know, and respecting what your opponent's doing to you. And so now what I'm seeing is a lot more discipline. The points are a lot longer. The girls are hitting hitting really clean balls out there, and they're trusting themselves. They're not trying to bail out of points early. You know, really what it came down to is let's maximize this. You know, let's just not be loud to be loud. Like, let's be loud because we worked for a certain ball really hard and we got it and it paid off. One of my rules is we run down every single ball. And, you know, you run, even if it's, you know, shanked sideways, you run until that ball hits the fence or bounces twice or it hits the net. You know, every rally we do at practice, that's how it is. I think Kat really sort of showed what that's all about. You know, in the first tournament in Santa Barbara, she's playing, you know, these tough opponents. She's up in the top flights. She, you know, she played 6 last year, you know, but she put in a lot of hard work and she had proven that, okay, let's give her a shot to play the top flight. And she's digging these balls back, you know, and her opponents were caught off guard and just making these errors, you know, and she's winning these points just on extra effort alone. That's sort of a pride thing for them now. You know, making sure that they're giving everything that they have. Do I want to win? Absolutely. That's what we're here for, you know, but I'm really not going to be focusing on that because there's going to be matches that we're going to lose that we probably should have won, and I'm hoping that we can pull out a couple that we probably weren't supposed to win. Really, for me, it's, you know, are we playing to our potential? Are we giving everything we have? It's not, are we going to win every time, but just let's give ourselves the opportunity. Let's play with that attitude of, man, you're going to have to beat me out here. I am not going to just lay over and die. You're going to have to beat me no matter what. I don't care if you're Stanford or if you're Santa Cruz or whatever. You know, we're giving the same effort. We're going to maximize what we got. And, you know, that's going to really prove to be, that's going to be a successful season in my eyes. Luckily, there's this group of freshmen. There's 3 returning freshmen that are now sophomores, and then I have my 2 freshmen. So the majority of my team is young. I'm getting you young enough in the process that you know, I didn't recruit you, but you're going to be my team. And I sort of had that conversation with them at the end of the fall. You know, we had sort of some end of the year wrap ups, and you know, with those core people, I was like, you know what, this team's we're gonna go where you guys go. This is really, it's not the seniors, it's not the juniors. You guys are going to make or break this team. Even though you're not the upperclassmen, you're really the core unit because you're the largest group, and we're going to have so many years. So you're going to set the culture of this program. She has a live arm, which really impressed me. She's a lefty with a live arm. Being a lefty, you know, really the lefty, you want the forehand to become the weapon. And so we really focused a lot on that. And I think she's become much more comfortable, much more trusting hitting that. Did she have setbacks? Yes, like anyone developing a new stroke, your confidence is gonna be good, it's gonna get shaken. And so I think it was a tough quarter for her just in terms of dealing with that. But I think overall, you know, she's hitting it much better. She's trusting it. I'm watching her run around, hit inside-out forehands now, which she never used to do. She's implementing some of the strategies that I've tried. I'm left-handed, so, you know, I think that she trusts what I'm telling her, like, this is how a lefty needs to play, and we have these tools that are going to be very effective against right-handers. Whether her results are where they are, probably not where she wants them to be, but I'm focusing on, is she progressing as a player? Kathryn, man, big cat. I'd never seen her in the juniors, so I really had no idea. I heard that she's just this tough competitor, played 6, sort of, just steady. And I watched her play against the former #1 from St. Mary's, who I knew very well. And I was so shocked and pleased with what she was doing out there. She was so aggressive, she was taking risks that we had to sort of, bring in as we got together. But, I could see this player that was so intelligent out on the court. She needs to still develop her weapons and get trusting, but I think she is. She's working hard to generate more power. She's not afraid of the big hitters anymore. I think she trusts that, yeah, she may not hit the balls big, but she can play them. And she had wins over them in the fall. She's playing great right now. She really, I think, made probably some of the most progress from the fall. Talk about someone that just is fighting at all times. One thing that really that she bought into was some of the double strategies that I was bringing in. She loves doubles, and so she sort of caught on really fast with that, with certain shots and stuff like that, and where to be and where to hit balls and how to poach on this and this. And she was already a very good doubles player, but now she's like, man, I really feel good out there. I know what's going on. We did some changes in her serve, so she's feeling more comfortable hitting her serves. She's hitting big off the ground, along with just her fighting spirit is so great. Right now, she's playing extremely well right now. I'm just so proud of a lot of the advancements that the girls have done so far this fall. She was someone that had a lot of potential. She had big ground strokes, but just wasn't consistent enough. Made a lot of unforced errors. She really started to understand how the court works and where you can hit shots. And so now she's using her strokes, using her targets to generate short ball opportunities to be able to move forward. She's made great strides. She's hitting the ball big. She's being very disciplined with her ground strokes. Just some little areas to keep going, but she's doing great. Jen is such a great competitor. She has a lot of tools that I think are underdeveloped. She was another person that benefited a lot from sticking to patterns more during point play. She was one that would just randomly take a ball down the line. And so she's really become better at that. So that's what we're trying to develop now. It's like, hey, you're setting up, you're having these great opportunities. Let's have that confidence all the way through the end of the point. The most improved, right there, on A. She exemplifies hard work and commitment. She's very confident striking that ball now. Her backhand was always her weapon, and that's still, a great side for her. But I think she understands what her style is. She's not going to be the girl that's going to go hit winners. She's going to be the girl that's just going to outcompete you. And she now, I think, trusts her game enough that knows that she can do it, or she's going to give you a heck of a match. Ireen really has this game, this exciting game that's inside of her, and we've seen flashes of it. She's flashy, she's exciting, she runs fast, she anticipates well, great court awareness. She's still learning because she wasn't able to practice a whole lot during the fall. She's still learning certain things that I expect out on the court. It's really, she played a half of a set in the fall in a tournament. That's it, and so we really don't know what to expect, but we know what's in there, and we're waiting for it to sort of blossom.